Listen here, girl. I know you think it's a game, but it is absolutely not. Okay, this is the energy supplement from Just Move Supplements. That's right. It's damn near all gone, girl, and that's because I had to get that energy up so I can complete the workout, so I can give y'all this body, this transformation, get into it. Okay, and I'm done working out now, so that's why we're moving on to the protein shake. Oh yes, it's already in there, girl. It's already made right here. This is the mixture of the banana pudding, the chocolate cake, and the buttercream cupcake. And you really want to be fancy, you can go ahead and add that blueberry muffin if that's what you want to do, girl. But for me, it's these three right here. Okay, you put that with some almond milk, you mix it all up in honey. Okay, your muscles have gained life, new energy, agility. Get into it, okay? Just Move Supplements. Thank you very much. Hold up, Chief. Okay, don't forget about that TLC NutriBurst to get that multivitamin powder, because we all need a little extra. And child, if you want that sea moss that go down smooth, don't come up rough, okay? Get into the TLC Nautica sea moss. Yes, get that from me. And child, if your stomach hurt and you need to move some things around so you can be free, okay, go ahead and get that ISO tea down below in the description box. Get it all from me. Hey, what's going on, everybody? Hi. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Good afternoon, whatever it is for you, wherever you are. What's popping? We're back for weekends on Own People, and I have opinions. I actually, I'm gonna pull in a photo, y'all. The sun has finally come out. It's been raining all morning, but when I tell y'all I have been enjoying it, child, I have. Okay, so we're going to put a ring on it first, and then we're gonna do the love last. Okay, because I feel like there's probably more to talk about with Ready to Love. Um, but thank you so much, everybody, for coming through today. All right. Your review is greatly appreciated. Okay. How y'all doing out there? How y'all feeling? Y'all feeling all right? Y'all doing good? I hope so. I hope so. All right. So let's go ahead. You know what I'm saying? All my moderators, thank you so much for coming through today. Okay. People that are members, Patreons, YouTube members, website members, all of the above. Thank you. Thank y'all so much. Okay. Now, without any further ado, let's go ahead and get into put a ring on it. I do, I do, I do, I do. Do you? Let's go ahead and get into that. Let me just hang on. You know what I'm saying? Let me go ahead and, I feel like I want to keep the music. I feel like I want to keep the music bumping in the background a little bit. It's doing something for me. Okay, so Charlie wanted to leave the session because she was really, really upset because Otis, her man here, decided that he wanted to tell her in front of everybody else on national television that he was texting, DMing, whatever you want to call it. Okay, but having conversations with this girl that he went on a date with twice behind her back. And he didn't tell her that in private. He told her that in front of everyone else. And she felt played like a soybean burger bitch. I personally feel like Otis waited until that moment. I think that Charlena was scared ever since she went on her first date that he would do something to get back at her, and this is that. They do tit for tat. They're both childish, but I also feel like he doesn't have the same reverence for her feelings as I believe she has for his. I think when she's being childish and acting out, it is because her feelings are hurt by something he said or done. And when it comes to him, I feel like he seems to have some animosity towards his mother that is being showcased in the way he relates to women, and specifically the way he relates to women in his own life. To me, there has always been an underlying like attitude or underlying animosity, seemingly. Yes, he's malicious. Exactly. And her being childish is reactive to him being the Tin Man. Like, yes, Tony, yes, Nola. Y'all are saying, y'all are hearing and saying the things that we're here. Okay. She felt embarrassed. She should have felt embarrassed. I was not upset with her for being upset. Dr. Nicole says that you have to let your partner be themselves completely because you can't control their actions, and you need to understand that. And I think a lot of people on this show have an issue understanding that you can't control the other person. You know what I'm saying? Like, they really have an issue with that. Shay has an issue with that. I believe Otis has an issue with that. Charlena, Kenneth, like, so many people on this show have an issue with not being able to control the other person. And that's a part of the issue. The fact that you feel like you cannot control anybody but yourself. That's why you have to let the person show you who they are. And then you have to make a decision based off what is best for you. Okay, like that's how this has to go. Like, there has to be a mental in it at some point, because you see how mental Otis is. Otis is very mental. He very much thought of ways to make Charlena feel away. And I think it was all intentional. I absolutely feel like he gave her that information in front of everybody as a way to hurt her. I do. And I feel like that's fucked up. I feel like that's really fucked up. You know what I'm saying? That you would like seek out hurting the person that you're supposed to be in love with, just because what exactly? Because they did something you didn't like, as if they're a child and you're an adult and you need to smack their hand. Like, no, that's not cool. That's not how these relationships should work. Okay, in my opinion. at the end of the day. Okay. And that's what we here for, my opinion. Okay, all right. So trust freedom. Give your partner, trust is freedom. You give it to your partner willingly. And you, whatever it is that you have going on, whatever you're feeling, a lot of the times if you're honest with your partner, they can respect it. But it's the hiding it, it's the concealing it's all of the things you do in order to keep how you're feeling away from your partner, and that shit is difficult to deal with. And I feel like it's difficult because whatever you're gonna say is gonna slice, either way. Like, I know Fonzo has said it, but I don't know if old girl is listening. Like, he's going to do whatever he wants to do. And as long as you're here, you're going to deal with it. And that's just what it is. Kenneth needs to keep it a buck with Shorty. I want you to take care of me. I want you to do what I want you to do. And I want you to pretend like it's not what it is. That's what I want you to do. They can't do that. Like, they can't keep it a buck. Otis can't tell Charlena that he wants her to give up her autonomy, that he wants her to go along with everything he says and never have any argument whatsoever. Like, he can't even say, but that's what they want. That's literally what they want, but they won't say it. Because then if they say it, then their partner is then going to be able to make a choice and whether they want to be there or not. And you're no longer controlling your partner if you're not withholding the truth from them. It's all about controlling the situation. You know what I'm saying? Which is understandable, but also at some point becomes toxic and abusive. Like, that's what it feels like to me. And even though I feel like Charlena has shown herself as someone that can assert herself, that can, get in his face and show him aggression, I still feel like the way he emotionally detached from her in the moment, like there was no emotion whatsoever while she was going in. Even that, to me, is showing that there's a disconnect from your emotions regarding this woman. So when she gets upset at you for something you like intentionally did to piss her off, you then, I don't care. I hear your feelings, you're upset, so what? No, I don't want you to go anywhere. You're not going anywhere, but get over it. Like, like what is she supposed to do with that? You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't give her any room whatsoever. And she's constantly at his whims with how the moment will go, because I believe that when she is resting in the feminine and all of that, she's trying to be in a sweet space with you, like as her man, right? And then you say or do something that makes her feel like she needs to remind you that she's a person and not a child, that she's an adult. You know what I'm saying? And when she has to remind you of those things, then you say, oh, she'll just, try to take control out of nowhere. It's not out of nowhere. You've prompted her response, and you're always negating what you do to get those responses out of her, Otis. So I feel like his intention was to make everybody see how childish she can act. But in fact, to me, anybody that's really paying attention is noticing the manipulation that's taking place. Because if someone is in fact, like you said, childlike, they are not in control of the situation, correct? So who then is in control of the situation, Otis? You. And you refuse to take accountability. You want to shift it back to her being a child. Like, what? Children are not responsible. Can't call somebody a child and then expect them to be accountable. Like, I'm just saying, like, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense to me. Whatever he thinks is happening in the moment. Either way, you guys, Otis doesn't want to talk on camera. He's really scary. He disappears in here, and I don't like that, because I don't. And then the way he talked to his dad, we're gonna get to that. But all of that is just, I was like, yeah, no, he needs to go and get some help for whatever the fuck he thought was going on in his people's relationship, because he has that shit misconstrued. And I feel like whatever happened, he sees it a certain way, and therefore now is going through relationships with women, making them pay for how he feels about his mother. He needs to get that shit together. We move on to Alfonso and Shay. She liked her date. Then Fonzo comes in and doesn't speak to her, which, of course, for a woman out of control of herself and doing a lot of performative shit getting all upset and all of the fighting and bitch, what you gonna do? All of that is real performative. Like him laughing, all of that shit, all of it is performative to me. It's I'm gonna show Fonzo how much I care about him by making a fool of myself. That's what it feels like. That's what it feels like. It's very performative, right? But she swears that she didn't want this confrontation that she fully took part in. You were having a conversation by yourself, like at some point. Because you was like, huh? What'd you say? Nobody was talking to you. Who are you talking to? What's going on? make sense for all of us, because it doesn't. Okay. So she expected a certain level of respect from her spouse. And Dr. Nicole says, spouse? And she says, yes, he is my boyfriend. I am his girlfriend. He is my spouse. We came here because we want to get married. And Dr. Nicole turns her energy away. Okay? And kind of cowers a bit and says, and I'm sure she's doing this so that Shay knows that she's not trying to be confrontational, because Shay, in fact, does like confrontation. She just said she didn't want confrontation, but she's jumping to have confrontation with Dr. Nicole because Dr. Nicole is correcting her about her misuse of a word. Okay? You are not a spouse. Like you said, you are a girlfriend and a boyfriend. And this is a part of the problem. If you want to be a spouse, you cannot give someone everything that they want from a spouse and expect them to make you a spouse. Most niggas don't respond to that. You have to take something off the table in order to get what you want. That's usually how these things go. So that is not going to help you get what you want. And Dr. Nicole explained that to her. Like, at the end of the day, that's not reality. And she said that may not be your reality, but that's my reality. And that's what I was talking about with y'all. That's what I was talking about with y'all. Y'all really like to confuse situations in generalized statements. You cannot create your own reality to a certain degree. To a certain degree, yes. I create the environment in which I live. So, yes, you can create your reality. But then you still live in a reality that is consistent for everybody around you. So, if the reality is not consistent, like, I can't say I own this house if I don't, in fact, own this house in everybody else's reality. Okay. I have to own this house in my reality as well as everybody else's, bitch. Okay. Just like in your reality, to be a spouse should be to be legally married to this man. Correct? So you are not his spouse in everybody's reality. Therefore, you are not really his spouse. You're not even his spouse in his reality, let alone in everybody else is talking about the difference between realities. Bitch, that's what we not gonna do. You are not going to go into delusional land just because you're upset that you're being corrected about your misuse of a word. Okay? And Dr. Nicole had to explain it does not serve you and what you want in the long run for you to say that you are a spouse if you are, in fact, not a spouse. Because if you say you are, there's no need to make you one. Okay? If you say you are, he has no reason to change the circumstances. Dr. Nicole says lying to yourself is not going to help you get married, basically. She wants to see him take her seriously. And he says, okay, serious face. I said, girl, it don't matter what you want. You can't make that man take you seriously if that man don't want to take you seriously. It don't matter what you want. And the only thing that you can do is take yourself out of the equation. And you don't want to do that. So just deal with it. Honey, deal with it, honey. Like, deal with it, honey. She says that he's selfish. He wants her to pour into him and he doesn't reciprocate. And then he starts laughing and Dr. Nicole tells him that he has to get that in check. Like, why are you laughing? What's funny? He's like, I don't know where this is coming from. Like, so you laugh because you don't know where something is coming from? And then he'll say, I know there's something I need to work on. So stop doing it. So stop doing it. Don't tell me you need to work on it. Stop doing it. It's very simple. It's very simple. Okay. That's a way for him to make a joke so he can move away from the truth of what we're the truthful moment we're having in this, in this moment. It's truthful, and you don't want that to happen, because the truth of the matter is you don't want to have to tell her what's really going on, what's really tea. Dr. Nicole definitely was trying to disarm Shay's delusional emotional aggression. Shay wants to be married at the cost of her own emotional well-being. Yeah, and it's weird. Honey Blue Face wanted to crack when she said, "But you're not your spine." No, I'm just saying, like, it just, like, that's the truth. Like, that's not what it is, honey. I feel like he's not gonna take her seriously if she doesn't take herself seriously. And the way that you don't take yourself seriously is you make a whole bunch of idle threats. It was definitely delusional. It definitely confirmed the level of introspection I felt Shay had. Um, you're okay. Who calls their boyfriend with commitment issues my spouse? Exactly. A whole delusional girl. Okay. So we're back. Where was I in the notes? In the notes. Shay acts like it's a possibility that she's going to leave. Girl, bye. Bitch ain't going nowhere. Ken isn't going on another date with Chantrell. No surprise there. Chantrell can't afford Ken. Shorty is going on another date with old dude. Okay, he was cool. He tried really hard to distract her from a very uncomfortable situation. Shay and Fonzo can't go on another date with their people because they acted a damn fool and embarrassed themselves. Okay, Otis and Charlene, Otis and Charlene aren't moving on with Milan or Brent. But Charlie says that he already DM'd her, so it doesn't even make a difference. Like, whether you move on with her or not, nigga, you in her DMs. Like, y'all have connection outside of the show, so it don't even matter. Otis talks to his dad about Charlie. Okay, Otis' dad likes Charlie. His dad says that with his mother, it took realizing that he wasn't a good listener. Okay, because Otis like, I don't know how you dealt with mom the way she used to talk to you and things. She used to say, I don't understand. I don't know how you dealt with that because I don't know if I would have been able to take that, all of that shit, right? And his dad laughs it off, and his dad says, that's, I had to realize I wasn't a good listener. And he also said that he needs to learn how not to add fuel to a fire. If somebody is already upset, why are you agitating them and saying shit to make them even more upset? Why, instead of diffusing the situation and making the situation better? And he says that Otis needs to learn how to digest things, and then maybe he'll realize that the person he's arguing with may even be right. So I think what his daddy was saying was that I was hard-headed, I didn't listen, and eventually I had to realize that I was fighting your mom for no reason. Basically, I was fighting her and she was right. That what your dad basically told you, that he was frustrating to your mother, who determined he was not a good listener. And you still somehow in this conversation walk away feeling like your dad is the only one that has knowledge and your mom is the one that's to blame. I don't know what happened in his childhood. I don't know what the makeup is, but I know what I heard his dad say. I know what I see between him and Charlie. And what I feel like is he is purposefully finding a woman who is strong so that he can dominate her, whether it be mentally, whether it be to kind of bully her, whether it be to digmatize her, to love bomb her, as Crystal calls him, the Punisher, has some deep rooted mommy issues that he needs to deal with, because I feel like he is acting out his frustrations with his mother on Charlie, and he's going to do it to any woman that he's in a relationship with until he gets it fixed. because it's even in the way he disrespects Dr. Nicole. You know, oh my dad, everything he says is right. But any woman that's a real damn doctor telling you what the situation is, you can't receive it with respect. Okay. All right. You revert to acting like a child. Otis flipped what his father said on Shar and said she was the one not listening. Ain't that some shit? I heard the daddy say, you don't listen. That's what I heard the daddy. I heard the daddy say, I needed to learn how to listen. That's what the daddy said. I needed to learn how to listen. He was giving you advice on how you should be based off of him. Like that was how he was trying to give you that, and you missed it. Like, went in one ear and out the other, Tiffany. Okay, so I'm not crazy. I said this nigga's crazy. Okay, let's move on. Shorty and Ken have a conversation about how he wants more out of others than he is willing to work for or bring to the table. He did not like this. Let me tell y'all something. A lot of y'all felt bad for Kenneth, and I have no idea why. I don't know why y'all felt bad. Y'all have got to stop feeling bad for people when somebody is very direct with them and tells them the truth. This man took pictures of this lady's bank statements. He doxed her at her job. Like, he tried to fuck up her money and her livelihood. He tried to destroy her, at the same time as requiring her to take care of him in their relationship. He is basically stalking and bullying her into taking care of him. And when she told him that he chooses women out of his league purposefully so that they will take care of him because he cannot provide what those women can provide, y'all felt bad for him? Why? Because he looked like a big ass child? Because y'all see a little boy when y'all look at his face? Why? Why you felt bad for him? Let me tell you something. I don't know what Shorty got going on over there, but if a nigga ever, like, I need for y'all to understand how I don't see you once you do something like that. There are a lot of things I have patience for, y'all. There are a lot people have it. No, y'all throw that nobody's perfect, baby. Y'all throw that shit out there all the time, man. People, when y'all want to make excuses for bad behavior, and as a reason for why people shouldn't be holding you accountable and all of that, because motherfuckers ain't perfect, right? That's what y'all say. Okay, well, I'm gonna tell you like this. I know what I don't do. Okay, I'm not in nobody's pockets. I'm not in nobody's pockets like that. But however, I do expect reciprocity. Okay. And I expect a certain situation at this point. You know what I'm saying? At this point. Okay. So I just kind of feel like Shorty is doing herself a disservice by even being with this fool. But I also feel like she tried to get out and she couldn't, which is why she's on the show. So that people will know if anything happened to her, it was Kenneth. Okay. Asia, hey boo, thank you for the super chat. I didn't feel bad for a motherfucking thing. People really felt bad for him. I didn't even understand what I was seeing when I saw people's responses feeling bad for Kenneth. I didn't feel bad for him at all. I'm sorry. You're not gonna make me feel bad for you. You're not gonna tell me your sad sap story, because I know a lot of sad sap stories. Like, sad sap stories. I know a lot of them. And I also know that people make a choice and how they handle people that do them well, treat them well at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? And to me, it seems as if you looking for women to take care of you. And then when they don't want to take care of your ass anymore, you want to get all upset. And you also want them to lie to you about what the situation is, which I feel like a lot of women should really stop doing. If your nigga not the breadwinner, he not the breadwinner. It is what it is. Like, if your nigga don't make as much money than you, like, why are we like feeling bad, lying about that as if that means something? What does that mean? It only means something if he's not bringing anything to the table. Kenneth's not bringing anything to the table. You know what I'm saying? I didn't feel bad about anything that she said to him. I felt like he needed to hear it. I felt like your boy told him he needed to get his shit together and old girl would stop talking to him like that. But I also don't like the way they frame it. Like, you're being talked to like that because you're being told the truth and you don't like hearing the truth. Y'all want women to lie to y'all about the fact that you're not providing anything and still requiring somebody to respect you like you do. Talking about, you don't know what I could go and do this, and you could say you could do a lot of shit, but I don't see you doing not a motherfucking thing. Almost don't count. I don't wanna hear about what you can do if you wanted to. If I'm not seeing it, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't. You need to deal with that. Deal with it. Women do. Women have to deal with it all the time when what they have ain't equaling to what they need. So I don't know what's wrong with you. Okay. Anyway, she says that she's out of his league and he resents her. That is a fact. He feels like she doesn't care about his effort. What effort are you talking about? Cooking and giving dick? And see, here's the thing. Y'all think that because you're doing something that some men don't do, like cooking and cleaning, you feel like because you do those things, that means that you're putting forth some extra effort or something like that. When at the end of the day, there are niggas out here that pay bills, go to work, fuck chicks, and can cook a really good meal. You're not doing anything special by doing one of the things that she can do for herself, two of the things that she can do for herself. Like, and y'all know what I mean. What I mean is that he's a soul suck. He doesn't give anything. He just takes. He just takes. And then he gives her dick and he cooks her food and he love bombs her, but it's all out of need for her to take care of him. It's not out of need to really support her as a person. But it has to look like that in order for her to keep taking care of him. It has to look like how women support men when men are the breadwinners. But it doesn't really look like that. That's not really what it is because you want her to lie about it, right? That's why you got so upset by her saying that you like women out of your league because you want something from them that you cannot provide. And that is not like, that's not what we're doing in 2022. That's not what we're doing in 2022. We shouldn't have to be doing that in 2022. Shorty wants him to leave so bad. Shorty can say anything to him and he'll still be sitting there trying to act like they're good if he squint his eyes and talk a good game. I'm telling y'all, he really think leaning into the accent and all of that. Stupid ass. We as women have to stop falling in love with potential. Okay, self-sufficient. You gotta eat too. Hello. He doesn't want to face the facts. He's a vampire. Okay. He also says she doesn't appreciate him, but we ever heard what the fuck he does. Like, what do you do? And we know what he do. He be tossing her little ass up. Tossing her little ass up in that bedroom. Shorty came on the show to get her. She did. No, I don't want your number. No, I don't want to give you mine. And no, I don't want to meet you nowhere. No, want none of your time. I don't want no scrub. A scrub is a guy that can get no love from me. Hanging out the passenger side of his best friend's ride, trying to holler at me. Oh. Okay, listen. Anyway, I felt it in my spirit just then. Y'all, I have these athletic tights on from She Inside. I need to become a fucking affiliate. Y'all, these tights are so soft. They're buttery soft, you guys. Oh my god, I'm obsessed. Because I was about to spend a whole bunch of money on some Lululemons. And then I was just like, you know what? For what? For what? It's I think it's called Glow, the athletic glow line on She Inside, you guys. Oh my god. I'm over here like this is nice. Okay. Let's see. Dr. Nicole needs to give the women and Rick Ross safe words they want out. Talking about he a workaholic. Girl, look, when he said that shit, I said workaholic, nigga, work where? You lying on the dates. Yes, Bonnie. Kenny has plenty of game. Yes. Okay. My other Kenny red flag. He ain't seen no other women, no other woman. Oakland date was gorgeous. She was, and she was juicy and shit. But he wants a woman that's gonna take care of him. And all of the women they're putting him on dates with are women who would visually please him, aesthetically want to have sex, but he don't want to be in a relationship because she can't financially provide for him the way he would like. This nigga is a gold digger. Let's keep it a buck. He's a gold digger. And he don't want no broke. nigga. Okay. She give me money when I'm in need. And she's a kind of friend indeed. Oh, he's a gold digger. Way over town. Good to shorty. Listen, I can only imagine how he tossing her ass up. He all tall and thick legged and shit, and she all little bitty. Oh, I promise y'all, he is tossing her ass up. That's the only enjoyment in that relationship. I bet you any money. And he probably can cook because he from here. And niggas love to romance a girl with an accent and a good plate of food and a dick down to their thigh. Like it's a thing. And it'll make you think that you didn't want a jackpot. Dick down to the thigh, cooks a good meal. You know what I'm saying? Like, what are we talking about here? And then you notice that he ain't paying for shit. You notice that y'all go to the store, this nigga ain't paying for shit. You notice, you know what I'm saying? Y'all go to the movies, this nigga ain't paying for shit. You know, y'all go out to dinner, this nigga ain't paying for shit. Okay, you giving up good pussy too? You know what I'm saying? You pay for the groceries. What is going on? Girl. Oh my God. Anyway, he says he must be doing something right for her 40-year-old ass to have him around. And she says, basically, you calling me a dummy for being with you, and I'll take that. That lady's done. They go on their dates. She wants to talk. They go on their date together, and she wants to talk about their issues, and he keeps trying to table it, keeps deflecting. He feels like he always trying to make her happy, and it's like he can't win. Sounds like a pity party to not have to take responsibility for sucking the life out of that lady. She keeps tearing him down. She's constantly over talking him, and she is emotionally drained. She says if he can't handle it, then he should move on. I love when she said that shit to him. It was like, nigga, if you don't like the fact that I don't like you no more, then I guess you should move on like Maya. Whose jaws are these? Oh my God. Courtney Folson, thank you for the super chat. My spouse and I completely disagree about Shorty and Kenneth. He feels she's verbally abusive. I said Kenneth is a psychopathic stalker. How is she verbally abusive? Because she said that he wants women out of his league because he wants women that you niggas have got to get out of y'all feelings. Y'all have got to stop being so sensitive. And I say that because, like, for our entire lives, y'all have made it seem like women are overly emotional. But wherever y'all are faced with facts about who you are, you bitch up like a child. And that's no disrespect to your spouse. Okay? But what I'm saying is, how is it that she's verbally abusing him because she keeping it a buck? Did she call him a bitch ass nigga or something? Did she say that you ain't shit? She didn't say any of that. She just said you want women out of your league. You want women that are going to take care of you because you don't want to have to take care of yourself. And you don't want to have to take care of them. Not in the way you want them to take care of you. You can't provide what you're asking for. Those are facts. If that hurt his feelings, I guess he should deal with that. Or maybe he should leave. But he's not leaving. You know why he's not leaving? Because he's financially dependent upon her, and he probably hasn't procured another woman to take care of him yet. He doesn't have a throughway apartment to go through, on his way out of her place. She's supposed to be sensitive to his feelings after he waited outside her job for her to go home so he can follow her home and beg for her to take him back. After he doxed her, at her job and, said all that bad shit about her on her Facebook page, after he took pictures of her bank receipts and her bank statements, she's verbally abusive to him. Let me tell you something, men. Y'all are in for a rude awakening if y'all feel like that is verbal abuse. Y'all gonna be some verbally abused motherfuckers around here if y'all think that we're gonna stop telling you the truth when you out here taking advantage of people and you mad because the person you taking advantage of has finally gotten to their limit and told you what they feel about it. Move away. Move away from her. Leave her. Leave her. if she's verbally abusing him, then I feel like the men should be looking at him like you should leave her, like y'all do Will Smith. Y'all tell Will Smith to leave Jada all the time. Tell Kenneth to leave Shorty. Go find him a queen that will talk better to him until he run her pockets. Okay? He is up there lying about what he has to everybody he encounters. And y'all like, she verbally abusing that man. Thank you, Makai, for the super chat. I don't watch the show, but your commentary makes everything better. Thank you so much. I'm glad y'all feel like that. I love you back. Okay. Kenny about to be heading right on over there to his mama couch. Bonzo spoke a word about getting himself together. She couldn't talk to him like that. No, no, because she's the person that's tired. Fonzo's pockets haven't been ran by Kenneth. You know what I mean? So no, like the energy from her was not going to be the same. It was going to be very matter of fact. I can't stand how when women are being like abused or taken advantage of in a situation and their words are sharp, everybody wants to act like their words are the worst part of the situation. Like, no, she's a fool for giving him access to her after that. Hell no to the no, no, no. Okay. I don't disagree with you, but I also feel like, how did he get her phone? That nigga be overpowering her in some respect, and I don't like that shit. And y'all don't think about that because that's not on camera. But tell me how he got her phone and kept it away from her for 24 hours without the fact that he's physically stronger. How is that okay? I can't stand this show, but I love hearing y'all talk about it. I get it. Some of these men be trying to use verbal abuse as a cop out. Shorty is a tiny woman dealing with a dude who can't tell she's visibly, physically not safe with. She's doing what she can to be safe. Facts. Thank you, Nikisha, for the super chat. It's the truth. She's being clear and honest. Deal with it. Like, and it's so many people like that the cold, hard, honest truth freaks them out, and they want to be more hurt by a truth than they are by the fact of whatever the truth is. Like, that's just stupid. Like, get over it. Get over it. Take a deep breath, swallow it. You know what I'm saying? Think about it, digest it. It really says a lot that Alfonso peeped the fact that Kenny doesn't have his ish together. Didn't he though? I think everybody knows he don't have his shit together. And he's a jester, joking and shit. Her energy is she's tired and she don't want to be with that man no more because he's draining her in every shape or form. It is. And that's why I feel like I don't understand where the sympathy for him came from. And then he gonna throw out that she 40 years old. What the fuck that was supposed to mean? Anyway, she told him to move on, and I think he should. Charlie is getting ready to go on a date. Otis tells her he realizes all of this is his fault and he wishes he wouldn't have, DM'd the girl. She doesn't believe him. It is because a lot of his apologies seem like, I'm just saying this so you can stop being mad at me because I'm ready to have sex now. I'm ready to get over it. I'm ready for you to be nice to me again. So I'm going to come to you with this dry ass apology and tell you that I was wrong and I shouldn't have done it, and you're supposed to take it. And then we're supposed to get over it because that's how this works. He then says if she wants to point the finger, then that's fine because she wasn't taking no bullshit. Like, I appreciated Charlie. First of all, Charlie looked amazing. Okay, she looked beautiful. She looked like, I'm going to show your ass better than I can tell you. That was the vibe that Charlie was giving. He says the accountability she's asking for is too much. Maybe his mom was easier to talk to. She said, what are you doing? She said, I don't want to hear it from you. I want to see it from you. You know what I'm saying? What are you going to work on? What are you going to fix? I need to see that. And I don't see it. And you're not even really saying anything. You know what I'm saying? So he didn't want to have a conversation for real about the date or what was really going on. She felt like he was withholding. And so since he didn't want to keep it a buck, she was just like, then we don't have to talk then. She's going on her date, whatever. Shay talks to her mom and aunt. Her mom says that she needs to lay it all out. And the first time the boundaries are crossed, be done with the man. I think that Shay's mom and aunt have had this conversation with her before. about how you can't, want to be in a relationship so bad that you're unhappy in it, but you are still fighting to be in it so desperately. Like, you can't keep doing that. If it takes away from you in that way, then it's not for you. And I like the way her mom says, when you want to get in a relationship with somebody, y'all sit down and you talk about, this is what I can provide, this is what I need. That person should let you know, this is what I provide and this is what I need. Those things match up, then you be in a relationship and you set boundaries for said relationship. And if somebody goes outside of those boundaries in that relationship, then be done with them. Because especially with women to men, because men learn from you forgiving them easily that they can continue to do something. So that's why the boundaries and everything needs to be very cut and dry. And women need to have an attitude of, a man is disposable as soon as he decides that he's going to take advantage of her. Disposable, in the trash can. Goodbye. Uh, oh no, I can no longer endeavor in this affair. I can no longer. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm sorry, but that is the energy you have to have about these niggas. I am sorry. I can no longer. Okay, whatever you are giving, it is low vibrational. It is lower than my own vibration, and I will not be taken down by it. Okay, so be gone, poof pow. You know what I'm saying? Be careful of these things, because you don't want these niggas to try to kill you, because these niggas is crazy. But if it's time to say goodbye, it's time to say goodbye. Okay? Say goodbye. All right. Yes. Like the video, please. I'd appreciate it if you guys would like the video. All right. Um, her aunt says Fonzo has to show her with his actions. I'm tired of talking about Fonzo and Shay. It's not going to change because Shay doesn't want it to change. Charlie goes on a date with Chris. He went to Stanford for football. He's a player. He used to be with a woman who was a sexaholic, meaning they had threesomes several times a day. He thought he can keep up, but he could not. Yeah, it's so funny because the idea that these men talk about all they want is sex. All you want is sex, huh? All you want is sex? Okay, let's talk about that. The Fresh and Fit podcast. The clip they just sent me of them two white people clearing their ass out. Hang up on these fools. Okay? Hang up. Hang up. But the idea that all men want is sex is so funny to me, because if y'all niggas mental ain't right, y'all can't even participate in the endeavor. You can't even participate if your mind not in the game. You know what I'm saying? So the idea that all men want is sex is such foolishness, because a lot of the times you niggas can't even provide your parts in the act. And not only that, even if you can arise to the occasion, you don't always know what you're doing. So at the end of the day, sex is a mutually beneficial situation. So if the other person that you having sex with is not satisfied, you're not doing a good job. Why are you doing sex this much and still not being good at it? What's wrong? What's happening? What's wrong? What's going on? Why? What's wrong? Okay. So for me, I feel like there are a lot of men that aren't good at sex. And there are a lot of men that can't always arise to the occasion. So ultimately, it can't be true that that's all you niggas want. Can't be true. Okay. So I don't know why y'all go around disseminating that information. You putting too much pressure on yourself, because I'm expecting hoes to be sex gods. Okay. I'm expecting you hoe niggas to be top notch at this sex game. And if you're not, I'm gonna tell you about it. Yeah, I don't lie to these niggas. I didn't hurt plenty of nigga feeling because they thought they was the shit. You know what I'm saying? And they didn't know how, their mouth game was lackluster. I need both of these things to be correct. I needed both of these things to go well. Okay. And if you're only good at one thing, well, honey, you're only good at the one thing. Don't be upset. Let's work on it. You know what I'm saying? And if you're not going to work on it, the thought of Future being trash in bed, right? Wouldn't you clown him? Like, oh my God. Like, nah, you got to know he's probably good at it. Oh, he's probably good at it. Beautiful morning. Yeah, nah, that nigga's probably good at it. If he's not, and those women are not singing like motherfucking canaries about how they don't achieve orgasms, it's probably either that they do or they don't expect to. Because a lot of the young women don't expect orgasm. I'm realizing a lot of y'all don't masturbate. Y'all don't know what y'all, y'all don't be doing what y'all supposed to be doing for yourselves. So when y'all get with a dude, y'all think Pound Town is enough, and it's not. There should be a horizon ultimately. Okay, at the end of the day, uh I know for a fact that these niggas can't handle that sexaholic life. That's why I'd be like, oh, we talking all of this 3-4 times a day shit. Nigga, please. Like, fucking cut it out. Like, oh, you gonna get big hard 3-4 times a day and give something sizable. Okay? Not just no 1-2 pump. Boy, bye. Anyway. I'm just saying, like, niggas can't handle all of that. Why y'all be lying? But she liked him. I ain't gonna lie though, it did make me feel like, oh, so that means he probably good at sex then. He attempted to do these things, so that makes me feel like he gave it the old college try. I would definitely want to test the waters to find out. Okay, I would want to find out. Oh my god. I refuse to say. I don't listen. I feel like niggas need to be humbled. If you're not good in bed, then you need to work on that. But we're not about to lie to you about it for what? So you can go around disseminating this lackluster penis to other people? Why? Okay, why? Fuck his feelings. He'll be okay. Girl, fuck his feelings. He'll be okay. Yeah, I'm not doing this with y'all. Yeah. But anyway, she liked him. She liked the fact that he was smart. He went to Stanford. You don't go to Stanford without being smart. He's fine. Sounds like he knows how to fuck. He's giving Odell Beckham tease. He had frosted tips. But he gave a vibe like somebody you might want to take around the park 1 or 2 times and see how the ride go. You know what I mean? Not nothing too serious, but something to take you off of, take you off Otis ass. Let me tell y'all something. Y'all gonna learn one day to start giving these niggas the energy they give y'all and watch how they fold. Okay. And if they weak and they can't handle, then they weak and they can't handle. That it is what it is. But Otis needs to be humbled as far as I'm concerned. And I just feel like Charlie is doing a good job this episode of humbling his ass. Charlie and Otis meet up to talk. And this is where I get confused. They meet up to talk, but he still doesn't want to talk because it's in the past. And he says nothing came of it. So I don't know why we got to talk about it. You know what I'm saying? And he says the DMs were innocent. So what else can he say? She says, if there's nothing to talk about, then we're done. She says, okay, he says, okay, and he walks out. But I like the fact that she was like, if you don't feel like we have something to discuss here, if you don't feel like there's more that needs to be said, then we don't need to be together. Let it be done then. To me, I don't know if she means it, but I swear to God, I want her to stick to her guns about it. Stick to your guns about it. The fact that he got up and walked away is showing you that he's still not where he needs to be yet. The humbling has not happened. To me, I would have to see Otis on his knees in order to even consider taking him back because his ego and his head is too fucking big. You don't want to be held accountable for anything, not even making that girl cry. I can't be with a man like that. You have too much physical power for you not to have emotional sensitivity to the woman that you are with. For me, the way that a woman who is physically weaker than a man is able to feel safe with him is by him having emotional and mental reverence for her, right? So he will be sensitive to her feelings. He at some point will acquiesce to her in some capacity to show that he cares about how she feels. Because ultimately, as a man, he is physically stronger. So if he wants her to feel safe, he's going to have to show the emotional, connection or care for her. And he's not showing that. So if you're not going to show her that you care, then she shouldn't care either. And she shouldn't show that she cares either. She shouldn't show that at all. Emotionally detached. Thank you, K Rub, for the super sticker. I appreciate y'all for showing love on this good May 1st. Y'all know it's my birthday month. It's my birthday month. Okay, thank you. Thank you. All right. Y'all, he wants her to run after him, and she probably, I hope she doesn't. I hope she doesn't. She didn't seem like she was going to this episode. She seemed like if we're not gonna talk to them, then we ain't got nothing to say then. So we'll see how it all plays out, y'all. But put a ring on it was a good episode. We're about to get on to Ready to Love. And then after Ready to Love, I'm gonna send out the link and y'all call in and tell me what y'all thought about either one of the episodes, child. And oh yeah, I mean, Kiki went live last night. Jay Lee posted it, Jamie posted it, Empress Radio posted it, child. And I was sitting up there waiting for some tea to be dropped. Did y'all think anything was juicy from that? Because I didn't, you know. I mean, I got a clear picture of who Kiki is. Kiki was a college professor. Now she is an entrepreneur. You know what I'm saying? She talked extensively, which let us, I'm gonna let that go. She said her and Tisha have gotten into fist fights. Okay, Tisha can thump. She said Tisha is not as weak as everybody thinks that she is. I don't think she's weak when it comes to like life in general. I think that she allows her husband to treat her like shit. I also think that she is it's about how it looks. I think she thinks she has to bear the pain of being in an unhappy relationship in order to keep the image, because what's important is the image, and she will manipulate and be a bitch, in order to keep that image in place. So no, I don't think she's that weak, but I absolutely see the situation with her and Marceau as her allowing somebody to play with her intelligence. And I feel like a lot of women do that, even when they are strong and intellectual and all of that. When it comes to their men, penis makes them stupid. But he doesn't want her to be safe. He wants her fully emotionally distraught so he can continue to control her emotions. Yep. Tisha is emotionally, yes, not mentally, emotionally. Kenny is a vampire sucking the energy dry out of high value women. Yes, Kiki is an opportunist, gets the bag. Absolutely, absolutely. But so is Tisha, so is Wanda. Okay. So for me, it feels like, it's all fair game. Queen, thank you for the super chat. I wonder what was Otis' representative when they first met. He seems like he put it on thick and then switched it up. It does seem like that. I think we saw it when he went on that date, talking about how the thing he was most worried about with Charlie going on a date was if the guy was respectful to her. Like, I think he puts that gentleman, I was raised in a 2-parent household, so I know how to treat a woman. I think he puts all of that up front first. I'm tall, I'm attractive, I'm smart, I can float between, the hood and white folks, and women love that shit. So he doesn't have to do much. He just has to present himself as, intelligence above the rest of the fray. And that's all he has to do, is be intimidating, smart, and then not come off like a street nigga. That's all he has to do. Oh, he got a job. Oh, he make money. Or, there you go. That's all. He don't really have to do much. If they don't tell us what business of Kiki's Tisha told, I don't care. That's what I'm saying. She said that she couldn't say anything because they're going to reveal it later on in the season. So basically anything that's going on the show, they can't really discuss until after it happens. So hopefully we'll have Kiki on the Ooh Ladies First panel once everything comes out in the wash. And y'all know, like, I'm honestly, I've been wanting to check in with Mel anyway, but I'm definitely gonna hit her up about interviewing at the end of the season for sure, because I want to get her take on everything once it's all played out. But yeah, we're about to move on to Ready to Love, y'all. So like the video, please. Thank you, Gaia Pose, for the super chat or super sticker chat. I can't tell, but thank you for it. Thank you so much. All right. I know it took me some time to get to the place where you wanted me to be. Oh, now I'm ready. I'm ready to fuck. Yeah. All right. So let's see here. I know this is a faraway picture, but this has everybody in it for the most part. I think that there were definitely some lighting situations as far as foundation was concerned, but I think everyone looked nice. I think everybody looked nice. I really do. I don't see. Okay, so homegirl in the blue dress, left side of the screen to the top, above the Kia and Paul. Yeah, don't like her look. Other side, Precious in her bang. We could have done better. Everybody else looks cute to me. Everybody else looks nice. Looks nice to me as far as I'm concerned. Okay. And we'll just leave it at that. Thank you, Visual Taste, for the super chat. This reunion completely solidified for me that Joy is a performative pick me and grossly male identified. So disappointing. Oh, yes, yes, yes. I need to get some type of music for when I'm right about things. Cause y'all been hitting me up on Twitter. It's like about Bonnie. You called it. You called it early. I told y'all. I was like, man, look, she was doing too much early on for me. Like, why you doing all of that? Like, what is that about? Y'all know I be paying attention to shit. And as soon as she ran to that nigga to kiss him, I was just kind of like, whoa, what's happening right here? It's just too much. It's a bit too much. And ever since then, she's been doing extra after extra after extra of thing, to make me feel like she really wants to be one of the guys. It's not just about Clifton. It's also about being one of the guys. And as a woman who has been one of the guys, I feel like it's our responsibility to be a sounding board for these men when we are their friends, when we call ourselves their friends. I think it's important for us as women to be honest with them when they are being fucked up, instead of validating their bullshit and making it hard for another woman out there to encounter a man and have him be unfair to her. Because I feel like y'all can say what y'all want, but Donovan was unfair to Sabrina to me. I think he mishandled her out of his own childish ego of not being chosen as quickly as he thought he should. Okay. And I think that he sullied her relationship with Demetrius. And I didn't even know that that had happened when we were talking about everything. I just knew that I didn't like the fact that everybody was trying to blame Sabrina, like, oh, she was just playing games. When at the end of the day, this is a dating show. This is a dating show. And everybody on the show went around dating different people and talking to different people and having to go back and forth between who they like that's the point of the show. So when a woman does that on this show and it doesn't end up working out in a serious manner, I don't understand why everyone gets upset. Like y'all wanted her to pretend like she was feeling one of these men more than she was, just so she can get a happily ever after, so we can sit at the reunion show and then talk about how they broke up. Because that's what was going to happen. That's what was going to happen. So let's go ahead and get into it. Okay. I also didn't like the fact that they talked about Sabrina and her many connections. I didn't like that shit neither. She had 3 connections. 3. Was that a lot amongst all of these people? Was that really a lot amongst all of these people? And honestly, she let Tori go, to me, like, as soon as it wasn't good with Tori anymore, like she let it go. As soon as he started acting funny, it was over, basically. And then she was spending more time with Donovan, but still keeping her eye on Demetrius, because I think she was really feeling Demetrius. I think she was feeling his quiet, strong, gentleman energy. And I still feel that way, because even though I feel like he allowed for Donovan to get in his head, and I think that shows a weakness on his part as a man, that he allowed for another man to sully how he felt about a woman he was interested in, when that man was doing that purposefully because that woman was not choosing him. You know what I'm saying? So that's stupid to me, that basically Donovan comes to you to fuck up your relationship with Sabrina because Sabrina is choosing you over him, and you allowed it. In a way, to me, you allowed it because he was upset with her. Okay, we're gonna get into it. But basically, y'all was mad at Sabrina, and it wasn't really all her fault like that. Okay, K-Rub, thank you for the super chat. I appreciate you, love. We found that out on this reunion show. So I was right about that too. So thank you. Okay. Um, Tori talking about kidneys. Throughout the entire show, Tori talked about shifting people's kidneys. It was a lot. Wiley talked about his dick being big. I believe him. Carmen gets fed a pickle by Paul, and I think, you know, it was a lot. You know, it was a lot. It was a lot for me. Dakia had a strong gag reflex. Dakia, you told Cliff you had a strong gag reflex, and then really sat up there and act like you was approved. You don't tell people you got a strong gag reflex if you approved. I'm just saying. The show had a lot of sex appeal. The show was sexier this season. I honestly wish that they would be more honest about if they're smashing. I think it would make the show more interesting if they would be honest about if they're smashing or not. You know what I'm saying? Um, they discussed the curveball of the blind dates being added. Tina says that she was overwhelmed with the process and that for her, it wasn't, you know, it wasn't what she wanted it to be. You know what I'm saying? Then they talked about the truth or dare situation. Sabrina choosing Demetrius over Tori. She says that she was reciprocating what Demetrius had shown her earlier that day. And I remember at the pool party when he told her he was going to be more aggressive in his pursuit of her. And the way he said it, I also understood how that would make her feel like, okay, well, I want to show him a little bit more of my attention while we're here, which is what she was entitled to do. Sabrina says people like Joy shouted Tori's name in that moment and probably made it worse. If they had not started shouting Tori's name, that when she went to Demetrius, it wouldn't. And I think that's why she did it. When they started yelling Tori's name, it made her feel like, oh, wow, I really had a good time with Demetrius. I don't want him to feel bad. So let me nibble on his ear since everybody is already screaming Tori's name right now. You know what I'm saying? And then that, in fact, ended up making Tori feel away. And they never bounced back from that because Tori felt a way going forward that he was not chosen in that moment. Okay. But that's another moment when Joy was trying to push Sabrina to do something. And she did that several other times throughout the season where she was like basically pushing her to do something and she could have just been focusing on her own situation. It added more contention to an already stressful situation, if you ask me. Several times Joy has done that throughout the show. Okay. She did it in the hot tub. She did it, that day we're just talking about. There was another time that she did it. I'm trying to remember, but I absolutely remember her doing it in a hot tub for sure. Joy says the reason why she said that was because in the ladies' lounge, Sabrina had said that Tori emerged, and she was like, "No, I wasn't talking about Tori when I said emerged. I said Demetrius was the one that emerged to the front of the line for me." And she was like, "Well, you talked about Tori." She was like, "Well, I talked about both of them in every ladies' lounge, both of them." You know what I'm saying? So then Joy was like, "Well, if I can get my words out," like, no, every time you say something, she corrects you because you're lying. You were being messy. I believe that you were probably talking to Tori and you liked Tori, so you wanted her to choose Tori. So whenever they had moments, you were then jeering her on or, cheering her on to do what you felt like Tori wanted because you are one of the guys, right? You're one of the guys. I think she informs on the guys whenever the women say things in the ladies' lounge and all of that shit. Okay. And I feel like in some way she would be the one telling girl, just do it, girl, or just go to this one and all of that because of her relationship with the men. Okay. And so then they circle back around to the truth or dare thing not being Laverne's fault. Let me just say this. I never really felt like the truth or dare situation was all on Laverne, but I do feel like Laverne's energy was something was amiss about it and I couldn't put my finger on it, but he did feel like someone who would like to like maybe antagonize situations or flip out or throw gasoline on some shit. Like it always felt like that. And I don't feel like I feel any different about Laverne. Like I feel like I still feel like Laverne is an asshole. He may be a nice guy to people, he may have good intentions, but ultimately, I'm still reading asshole on Laverne. That has not changed. Donovan and Carmen are together. She feels like they belong together. What happened with Paul? Carmen says she felt a lot happened at the getaway. She felt like Paul wasn't feeling her. She says there was some unresolved he said there was some unresolved questions. I feel like he felt she was disingenuous. I think Paul has a good radar, and I think Paul felt that Carmen was not being genuine with the way she was pursuing him. Joy was super pushy and involved for someone who knew she was leaving to Mexico for 6 months. Child, Joy had just needed to apologize, and she said she misjudged the situation. It didn't seem like she wanted to apologize. I think Joy saw the backlash Sabrina was getting online and hopped on the train. I think it was happening before then. Joy was definitely the mold for the men. Joy was definitely in everybody's business. Girl, focus on you and Clifton. You left everybody else, and you let everybody else have their own handle their own situations. Have Tori said Sabrina is a Virgo. She may be a perfectionist, but I like her. My Venus sign is in Virgo, so I get it. Child, Beyonce is a Virgo. We all love a good Virgo. Joy was a whole this episode. I didn't see it coming, but you called it, Bondy. I'm telling y'all be trusting me because I be like, Donovan and Carmen are a joke. It feels like two messy people that found each other. Next show, please. There's only 2 shows today, my love. Paul made a good choice to me. Paul discernment was working when it came to Carmen. You could see it on his face when he was trying to eat and she was trying to talk to him. You could tell he felt like she doing this for the camera. She was the guy snitch for sure. Yes, I read as on Laverne also. You are right about Laverne. He hitting up there. He's sitting up there dressed like a Oshkosh in his Oshkosh fit. Y'all, he definitely had with the shorts with the socks. Oh my God, not lavender. It's hilarious. Uh, Sabrina is the Kia's friend, so it makes sense why Joy dislikes her. The Kia like Clifton. Yeah, but no, Jazzy. If you saw, even at the getaway, the Kia and Joy never had a problem with one another. Never had a problem with one another. We're hugging each other and keeping it ladylike. And honestly, that was the thing that made me confused about Joy, because I was like, well, that's a good sign as a woman that she's not allowing the competition over Clifton to allow her and Dakia to get nasty with each other or disrespect each other. They never had that energy with one another while they were in that getaway together or on any of the lady lounges. I just never saw them have any negative interactions with one another. So I don't think that's it. I really do think that Joy befriended the men, feels protective of the men, and uses her position amongst the women to help the men. And it ends up, her taking their side on things and being overzealous and trying hard to gain their trust and affection as a woman trying to be in a man's circle. I think she feels the need to prove something to them. So I think she absolutely got involved in a lot of their interactions on behalf of the men. Joy is the loud, messy friend in the group. We all have at least one. Tori said the women probably Joy kept telling him what the ladies were saying in the lounge. Okay, Joy even had a problem with Tina. Yes, that was one of the things that made me raise my eyebrow to her. Bondi, we see each other because something was off with Joy from the beginning. Joy was raised by her dad, who wasn't warm to her. She said her mom left. She doesn't like other women, never has. Okay, and you know what? That's probably what her and Donovan and them have in common. And those things, like they have some type of anger towards their mothers. And those things aren't her fault. But folks who hate their mothers usually hate other women. That's the truth, man. Thank you, Riley, for the super chat. I appreciate you. Jessica G, based on the preview for next episode, it looks like Joy has a problem with the Kia. Now, but throughout the entire show, I never saw them interact with each other in a bad way. We got to talk about Donovan telling 3 of the women had he come earlier to the show, he would have gotten a joy. Oh, we gonna talk about it. I was just trying to stop and read some of y'all comments before I continued on. Tina said joy is a piece of work, and so is Carmen. Don't trust either. I already know. And I'm gonna tell y'all, I feel like you can trust anything that come out of Tina mouth, because I don't think she has a filter to lie. I think any lying she did on the show was because of the producers. That lady was wanting to, that's why she looked all crazy and shit, because it was hard for her to bullshit. I figured it out. Laverne gives Kanye. He thrives off of being an outcast and getting negative remarks so he can pull up his I'm confident and don't give a fuck attitude. Wow. That is a hell of a read. That's a hell of a read there, ma'am. Okay. That's a hell of a read. Not Joy battling with internalized misogyny. That's exactly what it is. Joy is very male identified. I'm sure her father raised her to be that way. Okay, so where was I? Eric and Dakia, their situation. So y'all, she says the exact same thing she said before. They were taking a picture. It was a photo shoot. She said it was the high school prom pose with his arms around her waist. He said, well, I'm gonna show you this ain't no high school prom. And then he grabbed her in a way that she said was inappropriate. She turned around, punched him in the chest, and told him, don't touch me like that. I'm a lady. You treat me as such. He tried to act like, because she kissed him off camera, that he just misread the energy. Okay. He was trying to keep it cute with his sunglasses and red eyes. He was trying to keep it cute at first because he knows what this looked like. I think he knows the only reason that he is apologetic to her in any way, even though I feel like it's not genuine, the only reason is because people were around to see what happened. If nobody was around, he would have acted like she was a liar. But because people actually saw the interaction, he could not act as if she was a liar. So he had to admit that he was wrong because other people were there to witness it. Okay. Dakia says that he's not a bad guy, but he thought he had access to something that he did not. He apologized to her and says he was sorry for that. She says she wished it would have come sooner. And he asked, how the fuck could it have come sooner? This is when I was like, why are you cursing at her? This means you're underlying angry right now that you're being held accountable for what you did. Okay. And she says, well, you text me that night, but you also text me first that we had nothing to talk about. And he says, because he didn't know that there was an issue until people were telling him that there was an issue. And she said, well, no, I turned around and punched you in your chest and told you not to touch me when you did it. So how can you say you didn't know it was an issue? He was trying to pretend like it wasn't an issue and got upset that she was upset and was still talking about it because he felt embarrassed. So he took the approach of trying to play her and talk bad about her to people because he was embarrassed that he had gotten rebuffed in front of everybody and it wasn't what he thought it was, like she said. Okay. Paul backed her up about that. And she said, thank God that he was there, that other people were there, because you would have made it seem like I was lying on you. Okay. And that's another reason why I feel like, this situation wasn't exactly like that last situation, but it's always why I give women the benefit of the doubt, because niggas often have the mindset that they have access to things they don't have access to. Joy laughing when he cursed at Dakia. Did y'all see that? She laughed when he cursed at Dakia, and I didn't even understand that. And then she hugged him once it was over. Like once the interaction was over, she hugs him and puts her head on his shoulder. And I was like, this man has been cursing at this lady. And to me, when a man curses at a woman and she isn't being disrespectful, and especially when he knows he's in the wrong in a situation, why are you coddling him when he is the wrong party in this situation? Not only in the situation they're discussing, but the way he's handling the conversation. He is being disrespectful towards Dakia, and you're coddling him. And I am very interested to know why. It's very weird. I wish you would stop. Okay? It's very weird. I wish you would stop. Okay? Sabrina and all of her connections. Okay, producers. Okay, we got it. Anytime a woman has more than 2 connections on this show, She is playing games. She's a hoe, party girl, however y'all want to categorize her in order to make it easy to disrespect her, right? Okay. So Sabrina and all her connections. Carmen almost calls her a bitch during the playback for saying that Donovan choosing Carmen was the best decision for him. Why are you upset about that? She literally said, "You know what? He said, I'm choosing Carmen." She said, "And that's the best decision for you. I think you should do that." And he went and smirked and laughed as if he wanted her to fight him on that. And Carmen knows that, which is why her response was, "Yeah, I'm the better woman, bitch," like, or whatever she wanted to say, but stopped herself because she was showing just how much animosity she has towards a woman that is not giving her that same energy. Carmen, Sabrina is not giving you that same energy. You've been coming at Sabrina for a minute now, and the lady ain't never gave you that energy back yet. All she do is roll her eyes at you. I don't know if y'all have noticed it, but most of the time, Sabrina never really even gives Carmen the energy that she's trying to get from her. Joy did a lot of weird crap through the season to me. Tommy just sat there. I was irritated. I never had a good feeling about Joy from the jump and couldn't figure out why. But that Tina situation and then her behavior on this reunion let me know clearly what it is. Carmen's still mad at Sabrina even now. Carmen had more connections than Sabrina, Clifton, Paul, Donovan, and Eric. And for what? Carmen just wanted to win. She definitely won a stupid prize. Joy and the effing laughing. Like, and it was so loud and obnoxious. I wish the Kia would have went Precious on Eric. Cause Precious was going off a little bit. She really was going that oh boy. I like Joy, but I just want her to shut up and enjoy her connection. You know what I'm saying? But that would mean that she was confident in herself the way she pretends to be. Carmen was third choice and she is okay with it. Carmen be in fights by herself with these other women. Carmen had connections with everyone. Carmen know good and well she was Donovan's third pick. If Tina had picked him, Carmen would be a non-motherfucking factor, bitch. Carmen has been fighting everybody and nobody pay her any attention. Not the blue contacts. These men are disgusting coming at the women on the show. They really don't know. That's why I like Demetrius so much. Because even when Demetrius felt a way about Sabrina, I feel like he more so would withdraw before he would like verbally disrespect her. And I would rather a man withdraw than disrespect me and act like a flippant child with me when we try to have a conversation about the matter. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm gonna just say that, like, thus far, Demetrius has continued to me to handle conflict with women in a way that I find respectful of a man. And I'm sorry. That's the reason why Sabrina wanted him. She could not get past his ideals on things, but he handles himself in a way that is attractive. It really is. I just wish that he would not have let Donovan get in his head, but I feel like that's one of his insecurities. You know what I'm saying? And if he were more secure in himself in the way that I feel like Sabrina would have wanted him to be, this is why I wasn't on camera because the light coming through the window is blowing me out. If he would have been more confident in himself and not need to require some of these old-minded things from her, if he could be more open-minded about some of those things, I think that he would probably have a more fruitful and a happier relationship, because I do feel like he has a level of maturity to himself that would be beneficial to a woman. It's just you having to get out of the mindset of feeling like things have to be a certain way in order for it to be marriage. And that's not the case. Like, marriage is literally, I like this person so much, I want to do things, I want to do big things with them. To me, that is what marriage is. And I feel like it is a business ultimately, but people feel like if it doesn't fit into the confines of the way society views marriage all the time, that means it's not valid. And I feel like as long as your motherfucking marriage license is valid, it is valid. Okay. Um, names or not, uh yeah. I wasn't feeling Demetrius during the show until now. I'm gonna tell you what, when she broke up with him, y'all, when she broke up with Demetrius, and Demetrius was just like, okay, you know what I'm saying? Even though he felt the way, he just shrugged it off and let it go. He didn't disrespect her. He didn't get nasty with her. He just let it go. I liked him for that. And I was like, that's why she liked him, because he has really good qualities. And there's a sexiness about that type of attitude when a man is sure of himself in a way that he's not going to do all of that extra shit with a woman. Because as you can see, there are so many men that like to resort to handling women childish manner, and he was in control of his emotions. And I think that that's a double-edged sword, but I appreciated that about him, and I think that's what she found attractive, because I find the shit attractive. Okay. And I find myself understanding Sabrina, so I imagine we must have some like-minded ways of thinking as it pertains to, you know, how we see people. So Sabrina says that when it came down to Donovan, she felt like he in and he wanted to know his rating. She wondered if it was about her or the show. He says that she never told him that. Oh, he says that he never told her that. And she says that she, oh wait, no. I'm sorry, y'all. My notes are fucked up. He says she never told him that. She says she did, and he told her that if he was in the process earlier, he would have been with Joy. Joy is backstage doing the most when he calls Precious and Dakia both Golden Girls, along with Sabrina, for backing up her claim that he absolutely said that if he had been on the show earlier, he would have been with Joy. And then to see the way Joy had his back, yeah, it does seem like y'all have some type of relationship. I wonder how they never showed us Clifton's face throughout the entire time, and I really wanted to know what Clifton's face was showing, because I imagine a man like Clifton would not like Joy feeling the need to defend and show such affection to all of the men like that. And with Joy, see, here's the thing that a lot of women who become friends with men and do these types of things, you don't realize that eventually people are going to start calling you a hoe. Not because you're actually doing anything with these men, but because you don't really have any boundaries set in place with these men. And so when women don't have any boundaries set in place with men, men start to think those women are loose. And it's not necessarily the case, but they don't understand that they can't be a friend to a man the way they would want a man to be a friend to them, or the way they would want to be friends with a woman. The way she needed to validate the other men is something that people will perceive as a woman being all over the place. You know what I'm saying? um Precious and Dakia both say he said that to them. He calls them the Golden Girls, so Precious calls him out. Sabrina says that she couldn't bounce back with Tori. Demetrius says that her not wanting to meet his family stung. And Sabrina explains, she says that he got some info from Donovan about basically Donovan kissed her off camera and then asked her not to say anything to anybody. And then he went and told Demetrius later on that they had kissed off camera multiple times. And he wanted to know why Donovan was the one that had to tell him. And I'm like, because that's none of your business. And Donovan shouldn't have come to you. See, Demetrius, this is the misogyny. This is the misogyny that Sabrina had a problem with. The fact that this is a dating process. Y'all are not committed to anybody, right? So if Sabrina goes on a date with Donovan and kisses him, she's within her right. Y'all are not in a committed relationship yet. Okay? So if she kissed him, she didn't do anything wrong. She has nothing to tell you. That's none of your business. Him coming to tell you that and you getting mad at her because he came to told you that on some catty shit, that's the misogyny, because you didn't give her the benefit of the doubt and you felt played because he came to tell you that, instead of realizing that he had ulterior motives that was steeped in bitch assness for why he came to you with that information in the first place, because that was not your business. And you should have told him that. You should have turned to him and told him, hey, dude, whatever y'all got going on is between y'all. I don't know why you feel the need to come to me and tell me about it. But yeah, no. If Sabrina and I are at a place where that is a concern for me, I'll have a conversation with Sabrina. You don't need to come to me and tell me anything about Sabrina. That is what you should have said to him, because he was trying to manipulate you into creating a drift or a space between you and Sabrina, because Sabrina wasn't choosing him over you. So honestly, I felt like Sabrina probably felt hurt. and felt like they were not in a place where she wanted to meet his mom, especially after she found out that he told his mom about it before he talked to her about it. So now you want her to go and meet with your mom after you've already told your mom a bad story about her, and y'all are not even all the way in a good space. I told y'all I felt like there was a reason for why she was like, no, I don't want to go and meet your people. And it wasn't, oh, I'm just playing games and now, because you dump it. No, it was because something had happened. That's why. She blocked him. Hold on. No. Okay. Donovan says that what they talked about and what Sabrina was doing wasn't aligning. And to me, it sounds like you felt like you were more important to her. And that made you feel like she should have chosen you earlier on and she didn't. And so then you proceeded to try to ruin her relationship with Demetrius because you were mad that she didn't choose you. That's bitch assness. Um, I feel like that's the misogyny, y'all. The misogyny is the fact that Demetrius did not take more issue with Donovan and just listened to what Donovan said and ran with it and allowed that to create space between him and Sabrina. But I low key feel like he already was feeling a way about Sabrina not 100% making a choice either. So it was like giving him an excuse to low key throw her away, even though he was still feeling her. So you want to be mad at me and now you want to come back to me and tell me to meet your mom? Like, no, I understood why she said no. Um, Carmen looks surprised, and I feel like Carmen, you know that you weren't his first choice, and that if Sabrina had chosen him, you wouldn't have even had a chance. Sabrina regrets the kiss as she should. Laverne and his God complex. He accepts his dopeness. If everybody else not gonna feel like they're the dopest person in the room, he's gonna feel like he's the dopest person in the room. I feel like you should feel like you are the dopest person in the room to yourself. Yeah. But that doesn't mean that you get to disrespect other people because you think you're dope. And you think that how you feel about yourself should be reflected in the way other people see you. And that is not reality. See what I mean? You should feel that about yourself, but you also need to have the understanding that you are not anybody else's God. So how you feel about yourself is how you feel about yourself. If other people don't feel like that about you, well, oh the fuck well. You can't have a conniption and flip out and all of that because people don't see you as the dopest person in the room with your thigh highs and your little shorts on. Boy, bye. Keisha, thank you for the super chat. You are so in my head, Bondy. I just said that in the comments about Donovan. Ooh, Donovan was pouting on stage. Carmen, is that what you really want? I need to get these comments. This really connected the dots of what Sabrina was saying, as well as why her and Donovan's energy became negative. It does. You can tell she really liked Demetrius and it wasn't the game. She speaks positively about him post the show. And you can tell that I think he still feels that about her because when everything was happening, I know that they seek them in that way on purpose. And he was always sitting next to her. And he validated what she said. Whenever she said something, he validated what she said. So to me, it proved that she was not a liar. And he is like, oh girl, y'all are petty and small. And y'all handle competition in a disgraceful way. They could have worked it out though, even after she didn't want to meet his mom, set boundaries. I believe that she was really hurt by him listening to Donovan and shunning her thereafter. I really do think that hurt her. Like, nigga, you can't come back to me after you done took this fool's word for it, after he's mad because I'm choosing you. That's what David did with Liz on the previous season, telling his family about a kiss and caught her off guard. Sabrina moved right. I know that's right. He needs to be on some doctor prescribed talking about Laverne. Left myself. Y'all don't remember when that girl said Future was trash and he was musty? No, I don't remember that. Sabrina and Demetrius was good separately. They still don't agree on foundational things like submissiveness and changing last names. Right. And that's important. Donovan is that guy that's used to getting girls. So when they don't choose him, he finds a way to retaliate to make himself feel better and puts a band-aid on his poor little baby ego. If he could have allowed his ego to get out of the way, it could have worked. No problem. Much love. Yes, thank y'all. Okay. Oh, I forgot David did that to Liz. He sure did. He sure did. And y'all be acting like a kiss is like it's a kiss. Like they didn't have sex. It's a kiss. And even if they did, y'all are not in a committed relationship. Why are y'all expecting that from these women when y'all know y'all don't expect that from the men? If the men was out here slinging they dick, east ways from Sunday and all of that, y'all would be fine with it because they're not in committed relationships. The end of the show is supposed to be the committed relationship. So any time before that they're mad at somebody because they're not being chosen, no. Okay. Um, what else? He and Ace talked. Okay, Laverne and Ace. They talked for a while, but he didn't want a substantial relationship like she wanted. And she ended up blocking him on social media. And she was like, she's not going to continue to pour into him if he's not going to pour into her. And this is when I realized that Ace is one of those non-confrontational people. So even if she agrees or understands something to be a certain way, she will withdraw because she doesn't want to be in any bullshit. So, like, y'all know how all throughout the show, Precious and everybody else was calling Laverne out on how he was. And Ace was talking about, well, I haven't experienced that from him. Well, it sounds like you did after the show. It sounds like you did. And it sounds like you blocked him because of that. You know what I'm saying? I think she isn't being as honest about how toxic he is. And I said that I felt like she was trying to protect him for whatever reason. Laverne says Ace told him, Precious told her Sabrina, Tina, and Carmen were trying to come together to get him voted off. Precious says that Carmen was the one trying to call folks to gather them to get him kicked off. Sabrina said, no, I'm just going to say no because I don't, fuck with him like that. I'm not about to say no, for no other reason other than the fact that it's not a romantic relationship. Tina didn't answer the phone when Carmen tried to call her with the shit. Okay. And this is what Precious told Ace. Ace then tells this to manic ass Laverne. But because Laverne is not all right, he didn't hear the details. All he heard was somebody, all of these women names were plotting to get him off the show. Instead of hearing that Carmen was trying to recruit these women to do it, and the women didn't go along with it. Okay. And I feel like he always had an issue with the fact that Sabrina did not like him in that manner. I think a lot of the men don't like the fact that Sabrina is a good reader. I think that she absolutely, when she'll like the man, but then she starts to notice issues early on, clocks them, and moves accordingly. I think whenever men find a woman that they like, that they can't manipulate into seeing them the way they want to be seen, or because men be trying to show you a representative, and when there's a woman that can read through that, automatically men do not like that shit. They turn it into rejection and all of this shit, and they get upset, right? So I feel like Sabrina did not really like him like that, and he felt rejected by her. So once he heard that, that gave him the ammunition that he came to her with, and he was loud and wrong. Okay. And then they tried to put it on Precious, and Precious flipped out on his ass and called him a bitch ass and everything else. And listen, Precious, I don't disagree with you. I don't disagree with you, but I also feel like, why are you letting this fool get you this upset? You don't even need to get this upset about this fool. You know what I'm saying? But I understand why she did get that upset and she stormed off the set. I'm wondering why Ace didn't say anything, but I feel like it's because Ace don't be wanting to be involved in confrontation. But she sure in the fuck didn't mind disseminating that information to him. I think that in essence, she might be another pick me, Ace, because it seems like she was trying to protect him, even though he was an asshole. And then when Precious told her that information, she called him and told him that information, and he took it and ran with it. So I feel like as much as you be trying to be a peacemaker, you started some shit, Ace. Sabrina and Demetrius are good separately. Yeah, we talked about that. Let's see. All right, y'all. I'm about to go ahead and send out this link, and y'all can come on in for a little while. All right, and tell me what y'all felt about either one of the shows, Ready to Love or Put a Ring on It. Okay, y'all know how we're gonna do this. I want y'all to try to keep it to like 2 minutes. Please don't be on here talking your life away. It ain't that. Okay, come on here, get your viewpoints out, and let me move on to the next person so I can fit in as many people as possible. Okay. All right. I don't want to have to hang up on anybody. All right. So I just put the link in there. Y'all do me a favor while y'all are waiting to come in. Like the video for me. Okay. The Kiki situation, we talked about that. Oh, all right. I don't see nobody calling in. I'm about to go then because vocally I am exhausted. So, yeah, y'all. Ace is definitely a Mother Earth pick me. Ace was definitely not a pick me. Ace probably didn't respond because she knew Precious was lying about some stuff and didn't want to embarrass her. Okay, all right. That's a good point, Great Enigma. We'll have to see next episode what it's going to give. I really like the idea of them dating openly because you really get to see how each person manages their own emotions. I have so much respect for Sabrina. She's self-aware and trusts her instincts. I like that about her. I like that about her. And in seeing her in interviews and shit, I like her energy even more. I think whenever a woman is trusting of her own intuition in the way that Sabrina is, I think that people um perceive it in a negative way. And it's because it's something that can be manipulated. So I think society turns women like her into prudes or bitter or playing games or old maid or, thought pocket or, they just put a negative female moniker on her. Okay. Hey Ashley, I see you. You ready to come on?
I guess so.
Coming in. Come
Hey,
on. Swing one.
how you doing, girl?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you for having me on. Bondi, I went to Xavier. I didn't realize that was the TV station, and you was working there when I was an undergrad.
Oh wow, yes.
Funny. But anyway, and I'm gonna try to quickly touch on both shows. For Ready to Love, I feel like I didn't watch. Normally I watch Little Black Books, like interviews with all the people, but I really just wasn't motivated to get to know those people like that this season. And I was just really like disappointed. Like I watched Laverne's interview and I just kind of expected more of him, like to express himself better, but honestly I'm not surprised. And I really am disappointed that nephew Tommy didn't say anything when Eric was doing all that cussing. Like, why are you so aggressive in this moment, sir? Like that was so unnecessary.
It was.
And then I'm sorry, my cat, BB. And then for Put a Ring on It, I'm so happy Shorty is being very aggressive with Kenneth. And I'm to the point, you pointed out the fact that he was from Baton Rouge, and Baton Rouge do not sound like that, and you are absolutely right. And so now I can't listen to him because I'm like, why are you doing this? You putting 20 on 10 with your accent. That ain't how them people sound at all.
No, and it be creeping out every now and again how he really talk. Cause when it was what there was like 2 episodes ago, he was on a date and he said "guh," and I told y'all that Baton Rouge people say "guh," and New Orleans people say "girl." Like,
Right.
what I'm saying? We put "earl" in everything.
It's
So
true. Orange, Earl, like all of that. And you
yes,
know it because if you listen to Lil Boosie talk, he don't sound like that.
no, he don't.
But
So
girl, I'm so happy that she found an avenue so that she wouldn't get fatal attraction. Because that's creepy as hell.
yes, it is.
And the rest of them, like Shay need to break up with Alfonso. Like, girl, he's not gonna do what you need him to do. Just cut your losses, but for a bag, okay? You can get your own. She's beautiful. She was doing those scenes with no makeup, and her mom. I'm like, she is so pretty, girl.
She
You
reminds me of
know.
Destiny and Lyrica.
Yeah, because I'm like, she looked like somebody,
It's
but
a
she.
lot of people.
And Charlie needs to go on and break up with Otis. I was getting frustrated with that last conversation because I'm like, why won't you let him talk if you want to talk? He's not really saying shit, but at least give him the opportunity to finish the thought. But anyway, I just feel like she was feeling herself because she had went on her little date and she knows somebody else want her, so she was trying to stunt. Um, and that's kind of it. Y'all touched on everything. I just really enjoy listening to everybody's reviews. And that's it.
Thank you.
That's
I
all.
appreciate you for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
All right. Have a good rest of your day, love.
Thanks. You too.
All right.
Bye.
Bye. Okay. Amani, come on, boo.
Hey girl. Hey, can you hear
Hey.
me?
Yes.
Hey friend. um, I really don't have much to say. I just feel like in regards to Ready to Love, I feel like Sabrina was dealt like a really bad hand. And I also think she was too young for this show. Sabrina was like 32, 34, and I think her views on how women can like navigate this world and women can navigate the dating scene and women can actually stand up for themselves and not have to be a good woman, Savannah. Like they actually can, have an opinion and say, hey, yes, I'm feeling all you guys, but maybe I don't want to really do this. Like, I really think that like Ready to Love may have not been like the dating show for her. And then I was watching
Yeah.
the channel and she said something about like how Ready to Love was originally built from like the male standpoint.
Yes. Yes, it
And I,
was.
and I noticed that in like the stuff that Tommy says, oh, be a gentleman and don't forget to be a gentleman. And even last season, he would say to Phil, be a gentleman. Any other show with what happened with Phil last season, they would not have him come back. Like, even if however they felt personally about it, that's bad for business. That don't even look right. Like if you have any kind of scandal, how are you back this season yucking it up with Donovan talking about we best friends and blah blah blah. So that already told me what kind of time y'all was on and how it was more male centered. And I was just feeling for Sabrina. I'm like, you walking into the lion's den and these women who really feel like the end all be all is to get a man is really gonna look at Sabrina like, I can't believe that she had these three good men that love her, and how dare Sabrina throw them to the wayside. That's how life works, baby. Because if the men, when the men did it, when Paul was with everybody on the season, nobody said nothing. When Clifton was talking to everybody on the season, nobody said nothing. When Donovan had three choices and got in the bed with Carmen, real slick, nobody saw that. Nobody said nothing.
I pointed it out several times about how he slid in the bed with Carmen the same time he was complaining about how she spent time with Demetrius. Like what?
It's real this like male standpoint of things. It's real like this puritanical ideal of like the women have to be like this. Like the women have to be classy at all times and like this and blah blah blah. And if the women are kind of nasty, if they're appealing to men, it's okay. Because Carmen never got outed for how she was acting because she was appealing to the men or whatever. So nobody cared that Carmen, was sitting with her titties out in every scene and talking about I want to taste your pickle. But if Sabrina would have did that, they would have ripped her a new one. So that's what I have to say. I love Sabrina. I think she's really smart and I think she's gonna find her way. And honestly, I like watching her on Instagram. I think she's like, just a fun, smart,
I need to follow her.
Yeah, her Instagram's like Sabrina Topaz, and she is just so cute and tiny and just, she's that girl. And I'm like, you didn't really need to be on the show with these 50-year-old men who got 3 kids apiece. So you're okay.
Right. Girl, the Lord saved her. Okay.
But yeah,
but thank you so much for coming on, Amani.
Yeah,
I'll see you on Instagram, girl.
I see you, Niam.
All right. Christy, hey, you ready? Let's talk.
Yeah, I'm ready.
What's going on?
Hi, Bondy.
Hi.
Yeah, for the first I put a ring on it. I don't want none of these women to stay with their partner. Everybody on there, they're already like very emotionally immature to me. Every last one of them. Like they can't they don't know how to communicate with their partners. And it's just like they shut down, and it's like that's not someone you want to have a good solid relationship with. And I just really don't like what the couple you call them, Rick Ross and the other girl. Like, she's very it's just like I'm so sad to see how it's like he chipped away at her confidence to where you just see it's just like she's very insecure when it comes to him, and it's just like it doesn't have to be. You're not tied to him. You have no children with this man. It's just like I just really want her to just find her self-esteem and leave. And it's like I remember the first episode where she said that she hasn't even met his mother, and him, the mother, and the baby mama went on trips together. And I'm like, y'all still together?
Yep, and he said
Like,
he was going on a work trip too. He lied to her about it.
yeah. It's just like I don't understand that at all. It's just like New Orleans and Shawty, like let him go, like let him go. Cause I didn't watch like some episodes, so I didn't know like what his work situation is or nothing like that. So it's just like if she's sitting here taking care of him, it's like why? She's gorgeous, she's successful. Like let him go. He a bum.
Girl, he embarrassing. Is what it feel like to me.
Yeah,
And
and
he
then
dicking her
oldest is just
down.
emotional. Huh?
He dicking her down though. That's what it is. That's why he's still there, and because she's scared of him.
It is. Cause she has said if I would have known all these things, I wouldn't be here, but I end up falling in love. And you already
You
know
know
what
how
that
you
meant.
call it exactly. His dick touch your heart. Yes.
Yeah. And then oldest is emotionally abusive. That's how I sum him up. He's emotionally abusive. He's withholding his emotions. That's how he abuses her. And I really like she doesn't need to get away because she's too young to deal with him either. It's like everybody here don't have no ties to each other. They just need to just leave each other alone.
I agree. Thank
Like
you
that's
so
it.
much
Okay.
for coming
Bye.
on. I appreciate you.
You're welcome. Bye.
All right, Asia, you ready? All right, girl. Come on with the good skin. Let's go.
Oh, thank you. Real quick. So the second that episode aired when Kenneth had um taken screenshots of Shorty's financial information, I didn't understand why she continued to be on the show. I felt like that was extremely violent, and that is something, especially him holding her phone hostage. And then like when we found out about the financial thing, especially when you messing with my money, that would have been time to stop filming. Or if you are going to film, I need to go home. I need to get my things. I need to separate. And I would have got a restraining order. I would have got a restraining order from him. And I would have notified all my financial institutions that I bank with that he is a risk, and that I don't feel safe because there is such thing as financial abuse. So I wouldn't have even continued on the show with him. I wouldn't be filming with him. I wouldn't be going out to eat with him. I wouldn't be sleeping with him. All interactions with that man would have ceased from that point on because he's dangerous. Um,
Absolutely.
so that's my take on that. As far as Alfonso and the other girl, yeah, they just need to separate, and she needs to just continue to go to art therapy for herself, because even though he has gaslit her a lot and made her feel extremely insecure, she also has to take responsibility for continuing to go back to this man and staying with him, because there's no way in hell that you can't tell me that he's in a full-blown relationship with his baby mama
Oh yeah,
if he's
for
going
sure.
on vacation. So he's marrying his side chick, but you're the side chick, honey.
It's
And
sad.
that's why you're upset. Talking
Hmm.
about that's my spouse. A real woman, if you were first, you would know, even though I'm his girlfriend, I'm the first woman in his life, we're not married yet, you know your position. But the fact that you have to delude yourself and claiming that you are a spouse when you are not shows me that you know that what you really are is the side chick, and you're overcompensating. Let it go. The nice car, the chain, whatever, let it go.
Let it
And then
go.
yeah, she just gotta let it go. And I hope, like, and I agree with you. I hope that Charlie lets Otis go too, because he's also abusive. Now, as far as Ready to Love, Joy, there's something wrong with her. I didn't see it either. When I did think it was a little bit thirsty when she ran to the guy, but I didn't read into it as much. But definitely when she laid her head on old dude's shoulder, and I was just like, so you're positively reinforcing this man's negative abusive behavior to this woman after nobody is denying the fact that he crossed the line. So that tells me a lot
Nobody,
about you.
nobody denied it. Not a one.
Nobody, not one person contradicted what she said, anything like that. And so the fact that you're rubbing his back and laying your head on his shoulder, like, and even though we saw the next clip, she's gonna have a issue. Like now, I feel like she's gonna find issue with I
Kia.
can't remember with Takia, because she probably was talking a little bit shit like, I ain't worried about what Joy and Clifton got going on over here. That's what all women are gonna say. I'm not worried about what he's doing over there, because you don't know what Clifton was telling her.
Right.
Because the fact that she sat there and cried about this nigga, you don't know what Clifton was telling her.
Okay. I definitely felt like it was more than he was letting on.
Okay, because before at one point he wasn't trying to give anybody any concrete answers. So Joy definitely disappointed me. I don't know. I never really clicked with her. I didn't really vibe with her the most. But who I'm really interested in hearing from the most is Tina, because she was not with the shits
At all.
and I wasn't even mad at her that she stood up Baldy, because he with the shits too. He's a low key toxic, and I can tell that he puts a battery in some of these niggas back, and he's extremely male identified. I peeped the whole thing with the many connections and all this other type of stuff. So he got some things that he needs to check if you're gonna sit up here and being a host. I wonder why he stopped bringing his wife up there.
I mean, we wanted her to stay.
So I feel like if we're gonna be doing this, Tommy, then you need to, and we're gonna be doing couples, that your wife needs to be in there. Your wife needs to be your counterpart to these when you meet with the men, and she needs to be the counterpart when she meets with the women, because her voice is, I feel like, is important, and the space that she would be in.
Right. I
And
agree.
some of these issues that are happening with these men and these women coming onto your show, this is 2 seasons in a row that we know of where women have come on here and these men have made them feel physically uncomfortable. Whether it was a reach or not, still lines were crossed. And even though the situation with Liz, he didn't get physical, he still was extremely aggressive when she was telling that preacher kid that he needed to go home and wasn't ready for love.
Yeah, it was a lot. It was a lot.
So
That was a lot.
what are you doing when you vet these men?
Right. I mean, I feel like in anything, I feel like these men have their representatives and they know what is to be expected, especially the men that come on this show. They know what they have to look like. They know how to perpetrate that look for people. But once we start delving deep and we start going into relationships and in your jealousy and all of that taps in, it's hard to hide those things. So I feel like they think they can have control of themselves, but that's the delusion, that you can hide what is really obvious to anybody that's paying close enough attention. But thank you, Asia, so
Thank
much.
you
I
for having
appreciate
me.
you always. Okay, thank
Yes.
you for coming
Have a good
on.
one.
You
Yes.
too. All right. Come on, Chrislyn, is that it?
Yes, ma'am.
How you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm good.
I'm at work, girl. I'm always at work when you go live.
Well, look, we don't want you to get fired, so go ahead and tell me what you got.
Well, all I want to say is I love Sabrina. I love the way she moved through the whole game. People didn't realize that it's a game. That's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to pick who you want, who you don't want. If you notice, all them guys that's on that show was the ones that didn't get picked in high school. They was probably some nerds, didn't nobody pay them attention. So now that they grown and got a little bit of something, their egos pop out. What's the other one? Put a ring on it. I really don't have nothing to say about Fonzo and Shay because they're never going to leave each other. It's going to always be the same game, so I don't ever speak on them. But Kenneth thinks because he ironed his pants and put a couple creases in it that somebody's going to do what they need for them to do. He's a user, he's a manipulator, and I wouldn't be surprised if he wasn't over there putting his hands on Shorty. That's why she's so scared, and it's her space. Her safe space to say what she needs to say is on this show. Otis, a manipulator. I just really don't like speaking of him. He disgusts me, but I really ain't have much to say. I just wanted to say that.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
And thank you for having me on.
No problem. Have a good rest of your day.
Thank you.
All right. All right. Come on, Prosperity Thick girl. You about to be my last person. Let's go.
Hit that like button, y'all.
Okay. Like it up.
I just wanted to talk about Kiki.
Go on, girl, go on.
I'm glad she did that video because it made her more personable. It made us see who she really was because they act like she was some hood rat, busted baby mama, uneducated. They just tried to make her seem less than Tisha in every single way, and we now see that's not the case. This lady was a whole professor. Like this lady said, she did things for you that men didn't even do. Like just trying to make you love you, and it don't seem like it worked because you still don't seem to love you.
She said she would do balloons and flowers and stuff for her and everything.
Exactly. And it does that mean that Marceau was her first boyfriend, her first baby daddy, her first everything? Because she said when she was in college, she never had a boyfriend, and
Yeah.
they met in
Marcel
college.
was the
So
first everything, I believe. I mean, he may not have
exactly.
everything, but he was the first, the first serious one.
Yeah. So yeah, like so we can understand the dynamic of them. You know what I'm saying? Like why she's so gun ho and why she like that's my man and I love him and I'm gonna stick beside him because she know nothing else. And then having a mother like Wanda, yeah, we understand. You did anything to get out that house. I really understand that now. But I'm
Uh-huh.
just waiting for Wanda to come back with her rebuttal because you know it's coming. I'm gonna have my transcript on my caption so I can try to understand what she's saying. And if whatever they say, she say that never be what she say. So I just give me a good old kiki out of it because it'd be funny as say Wanda say hey and they be like shoes. I'd be like what? They
Child, she
understand
a
nothing
mess.
Wanda says, just like we
Nothing.
don't. So
Okay,
we just
course.
gotta laugh at it. Yes,
That's
we
that's
just gotta laugh at
course.
it at this point.
Okay. She a mess.
But
But
also,
Kiki
Kiki
definitely.
Mama, like, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say that you could tell Kiki definitely grew up on a different side of the tracks because her enunciation was on point. Go ahead.
Exactly. And I would have been, I'm glad Kiki said something about her mom and them, yeah, because they had the right to be mad. Don't be talking about my mom and them, and don't be bringing my mama them into this because
Yeah,
you
I
ghetto
agree.
and hood, but and you trying to make them seem like they worse than. That's my whole thing. They tried to make Kiki and her family seem less than when now that we see they're who they were trying to be. Kiki and them are old money. They're new money, and you can tell
Yeah, because they don't know how to act.
at all. It's like every little thing that happens and they got to talk about it.
And you saw the way Wanda came up there with that furrow on, girl. Her white furrow.
Child, I was like, Wanda, if you don't take that throw blanket and put it back on your
It
bed.
did look like a throw blanket, bitch. A hooded throw blanket. Put it back. Okay, that's what is that? One of them robes or something, bitch. It's terror cloth. What is that? Put that away.
Exactly.
She be
And I
doing
was
the
like, Kiki, but I still want to see a birth certificate because you and Wanda.
ooh, yeah, I know,
I
right?
need to talk to Grandma. Grandma gonna tell us the truth. What happened?
You can find this video of Kiki. It is on Jay Lee's Corner. It is on Jamie is Me's channel. It's on Impressive.
Everybody.
Like
Empress,
everybody posted it.
Empress
Like I
Radio.
was thinking she said some shit. I was like, what? Like they fought? What? Tisha, is not as weak as everybody act like she is. I ain't know what we got from that we didn't already know. But it was
Yeah, but
it gave us
I just
more information on Kiki as a person.
exactly. That's what I was happy about. We finally got to hear her and see that what they were saying, as we thought probably wasn't the case. But I just don't ever want Kiki to put that wig back on. As long as she don't put that wig back on, we will understand that she's not who they say she is because that wig portrayed her as what they said she was.
Better in her live last night for sure. Thank you,
Yeah.
Prosperity Thick
Thank
Girl,
you.
for calling in again. I appreciate you, love.
Always love you. Be safe. Have a good rest of
You
your weekend.
too. All right. Come on, Gigi with the juice. You are my last person. I'm getting off of here after that. What's going on?
I'm surprised I actually got on. I was like, let me hop out here really fast. And I was in here doing nothing. I was listening to you. But I guess let me break down what did we talk about first? Put a ring on it.
Mhm.
So put a ring on it. I definitely think Shorty ended up in one of those situations where Ken kind of snuck himself in by waking up one day. It's like, oh, this nigga got a whole drawer in my house, like without even realizing it. It started with, oh, you can stay the night, oh, just stay in the morning, right after, and the next thing you know, he done stayed the whole week. And then you look and was like, wait a minute, you've been here 3 months. And I feel like Ken slowly got himself in there by cooking his good old New Orleans meal and basically offering fine dining and dick at this point. That's all he's offering Shorty. And I think it's unfortunate because she kind of falls in that category of women where they are career driven, but they still want like that presence of a man, that type of companion thing. But then you realize, like, is the companionship really worth putting up with all the extra mess that comes with, set dick like that Ken is offering? So it definitely was good to see her, step into her power and was like, bruh, this is it. Already contacted my job, tried to like, spray me. And then you got the bank statements. Like, that's what I was like, that's automatic grounds for removal. Like, why you got my bank statements? Now I'm starting to feel like if like, obviously Ken is showing, had she tried to leave, like, what were we going to do? Clear her bank out so she couldn't? Like, what were you doing with the bank? What was going to happen is what I'm concerned about. Otis, he definitely was a dead giveaway of mommy issues when he kept telling his dad, like, oh, I just don't know how you did it. And like, I watched it the second time and I was like, damn, he really leaning in on this. Like, I just don't know how you did it. Like the way mom was. And the fact that the dad didn't say anything kind of makes me realize maybe Otis was probably one of those kids that had to intervene in his parents' fights, or, maybe saw the mom acting out in front of the scenes, but your dad was telling you behind the scenes he wasn't listening. Like, you just completely decided you were gonna, throw out that information of your dad admitting, like, there were times basically that I was being hard-headed, as most men do. And here it is, Otis repeating the pattern simply because he's taking out some like childhood, issues out on the, on the woman in his life. Like, I saw my dad didn't stand up for himself, so I'm gonna make sure I don't do the same thing type shit.
Right.
And Shay, poor little Shay, like at this point, these are idle threats. You've been saying that you were going to leave him. There's no point. You look beautiful, skin fresh, so you really need to leave. He's living under Rick Ross. There's no chance that you're getting ready to offer this man any type of lifestyle that entertains him, that includes monogamy. Like, it's not going to happen.
It's not. So he keeps telling you that.
And you might as well be like Gia. Like, you realize, oh my God, I love this man. He has his issues, but what we have is greater type shit. Like, you might as well just suck it up. But it was good to see she had that old lady under the tree advice. They was telling you, and I guess that was the aunt or the mom that was like, this is what you lay out. Boom, boom, boom. Like, I don't care. Okay, yeah, the mom. And she was talking, she was like, I understand that mother-in-law struggle, but I had to make sure I put my foot down, and that's what a lot of these females, like, you have a part in making sure, like, you put your boundary there with the mother-in-law, and then you make sure he, basically reinforces that. It's up to him to reinforce that. And Fonzo is definitely showing, like, he can't reinforce that place with Shay, in his mom's life, which is making me feel like you still having sex with the baby mama. Like, he's keeping them very separate, and you going on vacation with her and the mama. Like, y'all definitely still fucking, but she just doesn't want to, own up to that. But put her ring on it definitely was really good this episode. Charlena, I feel like she's gonna have. Do you feel like she actually believes what she's saying to Otis? Though is the question, because I'm still feeling a little bit of like, tell him this, let me kind of peacock it. But if he were to really push back, she's not going to have that boundary there.
I agree. I do feel like it looks believable, but I don't know if it really is right now. And I feel like only time will tell. But I feel like it depends on what he does. Right. But if she can keep matching his energy, I would like for her to keep doing that.
For sure. It definitely was like, I was noticing her like, I'm going to push back, because she wasn't even letting him talk at the end, which is kind of obviously like, it's been a buildup. It's clearly been like a slow buildup, because any mention of the word of, traditional, or like her, she just perks up, because it's like, you can tell it's kind of a sore spot for her in that relationship with him. So I think she's kind of had like that last bit of like, you're not going to keep talking to me like this, bruh. But it's just like, can you stay there though? Like, a lot of women can do the talking, but it's all about the, backing it up.
Action,
like,
right, the action.
It's all about the backing it up. And a lot of times women just unfortunately kind of fall short of that, which is why we have the Tisha and Marceau situation. So that was sad. I didn't get a chance to watch it, so I'm not gonna be able to comment too much on that. But from what I'm seeing of the preview of season, the what's to come in the season, it's definitely looking like Kiki and Tisha have probably had previous conversations of Marceau's, mishandlings out here in the streets. And I think Tisha knows that that's something that she's gonna have to accept with Marceau, and she's gonna try to convince the viewers, like, I don't see nothing, but girl, we see you see it. Like,
Okay.
it's written all over you. Like, we know it. And then you can't blame the public for wanting to see your relationship fail when we're just simply rebutting what we see.
Okay.
Like, as Marceau likes to tell Lewis, oh, this ain't no TV relationship. This is a real relationship. So he's commenting on your real relationship, not no TV shit. Like, it's your real relationship.
Exactly. Which
That
is
all
why
of us
it's like,
look
come
to.
on. Like you're giving this to us.
Yeah, but that's all I had to say. It's coming to the end. I'm glad I caught you this time, but you've definitely been killing it on the lives, tuning in. I appreciate it. So yeah, thanks for having me on.
Oh, no problem. Thank you for calling in. I appreciate you. You have a good rest of your day.
You too.
All right. Bye-bye. All right, y'all. Thank you so much. There was not a Love and Marriage Huntsville last night. It was a, let's look back at Tisha and Marceau's relationship type of episode. So y'all can go check that out if you want to. But I am done, you guys. I am going to wait until tomorrow to come to you guys with the ultimatum. Okay, I'm going to do the rest of the ultimatum tomorrow, and I'm going to do Candy and Real Housewives of Atlanta tomorrow. Okay. If I decide to do something else differently for the members or something like that, I'll call y'all in the Discord. I just posted a new link everywhere for everybody in Patreon, YouTube, forum. There's a new link to the Discord. So y'all make sure y'all go and check that out. I appreciate everybody for coming through. Follow me on my website, BondyBlueShow.com. And I will see y'all in the next one.